I just wrapped up open house and I want to give you a little market update, and I want to just kind of give you my opinion of what you could see over the next few months. We've seen an uptick in buyer activity. We haven't seen a ton of uptick, but a little bit, and we are getting into that season where we would typically see a lot more buyers hitting the streets. This year, though, it feels a lot more like it did in 2015, 16, 17, maybe 18 and 19, but we do have lower inventory than we did back then. Right now, our inventory level sits at the same levels it did when we were in the mad rush of the pandemic. But we're not seeing the buyer activity that we saw then, just because interest rates are much different than they were back then. And we also, back in basically all the way up until 2023, we had seen a lot of 100% loans from credit unions where you could get an 80-20 or a 90-10. The 10 is a balloon, so you would have to pay that off in 10 years or refinance that into the loan of the house. But the 90 was just a 30-year normal fixed loan. We don't see those options anymore. So you coupling the higher interest rates with the lack of 100% financing, unless you're VA or USDA, we aren't seeing the first-time home buyers out there quite as much, because it's just more difficult to come up with the down payment and to suffer the greater payments based on the interest rates. So buyer demand hasn't picked up a ton, but we are seeing more people hitting the streets. We do see a lot of cash buyers out there as well. People with money, they want to sell the big house and buy something a little more simple, maybe newer, but they're paying cash. So there has been an uptick. I expect to see more people hitting the market, because after spring break, we always do. April becomes very active, and I don't think that's going to be any different than it has in the past if we scratch out the last 3 years, because they were an anomaly. But we're looking for good things. I do anticipate by the end of the year seeing rates drop below 6%. It's just an anticipation. It's a guess. I could be totally wrong. The Fed has led us the wrong way many of times, so we don't know for sure if that will happen. But that is my hunch. We will see that, and when we do, we will see a lot more buyers hitting the market. And if we don't have the inventory to match it, it could cause problems. But that's my update for middle of March. March Madness, baby. Get ready for it. It is coming. And hopefully the Cyclones can do well as Drake. Love to see state schools do well in the tournament. Anyway, I'm out, and we'll hope to see good things happen in the next 6 months.